My name's Cody, and I own 3 gyms in Los Angeles called Allegiate, and I am building the next big boutique fitness brand. If you're interested in behind the scenes of what goes into running a small business or gym, this video is for you. In this video, I reflect on some sales meetings that I've had so you can learn where I went wrong and not make the same mistakes that I made. We get into some of the cornerstone habits of my daily routine, like journaling, meditation, and cooking for myself. I scout real estate for a 4th location in Pasadena so you can see what it looks like to walk an empty property. I share reflections on an expensive advertising campaign that we ran, so if you're running a campaign, you can compare and contrast, or if you've always wanted to run a campaign, watch this post-mortem video. We hop into a workout where we got 10-second eccentrics on pull-ups so you can see how a gym owner works out. Then I share the goal-setting strategy that we're using with our team from the 4 disciplines of execution. We're focusing on the wildly important goals, lead metrics, and how we use our staff's input to really focus on one thing to move the ball down the field.
I was upset this morning when I got my Starbucks and it was mostly foam, but out here at Santa Monica in the morning in the parking structure, these guys are mad out here. This guy's just running in the middle of the street, motherfucking people. Everything's relative.
So I take a lot of sales meetings, and I've been losing some deals on people. I need to think about it. And so my goal here was going forward was like, when I get that feedback, I'm just going to lean into it and I'm just going to start swinging from the fences because I'm tired of losing deals that way, and I'm tired of just folks not making a decision and following up with them and like, hey, I decided to think about it. When people say I need to think about it, it's they don't want to make a commitment or they don't financially have the ability to pull it off. So I got this from my friend when I was asking him for feedback on how to improve this. He's like, well, sometimes I say when people say that, like, hey, jokingly, what are you going to do? Like, go to your lazy boy chair, sit there and, my think about it chair and kind of sit there and all the ideas are going to come to you and you're going to figure this out. Like, no, that's not what's going to happen, right? And usually the people kind of laugh about it. I'm like, so let's think about it. Like, and if they don't give you anything, I'm just pressing now, because I'm tired. Like, if I'm going to take these meetings, if these people are going to have my time, I'm going to have their time. We're right here doing the thing. Like, let's get somewhere with it. And so with this last guy, I was like, I did the whole think about it, sit in your chair and think about it kind of thing. And I was like, I feel like I just lost you on price. And he's like, no, you didn't lose me on price. I'm like, all right, well, usually when folks say that they want to think about it, it's either they're afraid of making a commitment or they don't necessarily have the money to be able to do this. And he's like, no, I'm not afraid of making a commitment. It sounds like a really great thing. It's like, all right, cool. So is it priced? Then let's talk about a number that might work a little bit better for you. Is it a payment plan? Do you want to do a little bit down and we can burn off the rest of it, and then I can give you a credit going forward on the membership and blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, I gave him these options and he just kept saying he needed to think about it. As I reflect on this now, it's like, I expect to win every deal. And if I don't, something I did in the sales process was not as good as it could have been. So thinking about this now, he was like, hey, I'm trying to lose these extra pounds and I drink a lot of alcohol. So what I should have used, reflecting on this now, is like, hey, it's a price thing. You said you go out, to get drinks and stuff with your buddies a lot, right? Right. Do you ever buy drinks for people? Yeah, of course. All right. Do you buy it potentially more than once in a night? It's like, dude, there's $200 right there, burned, that you could save and invest in your future. And like, hey man, are you single? Are you looking for somebody? Oh, you are? Like, what's going to help you land that partner? Is it you looking and feeling more confident and better in your body? Or is it you buying drinks for people and like that vicious cycle of where that goes to? So that would have probably been, it wasn't that he was actually I was going to lose him on price or on program or the commitment. It was that the financial blocker I didn't find the emotional hook of the thing that was going to get him over the logical side of, I need to think about it, I don't have the money. It might have been connecting to something deeper in his heart and his soul. What I tried to swing to was like, hey, you've been trying to lose 5 pounds and you're struggling with these last 5 pounds. You're here for a reason. Like, the reason is that you need a program or something like that. But I could have sunk into that piece of it to just put more of his real vulnerabilities on the table. Not in a malicious way, but in a way to like help him make the decision that this is the best thing for him to do. Because that's the thing, the truth is on my side. Like, we've got the answer of what these people need to make a massive and positive transformation in their life. And it's my job as a sales rep to help connect the dots, not logically, but emotionally, to what they need, want, desire. and I missed it on this last one. And when I was walking the guy down the thing, I was like, hey, I walked about a thing. I was like, I just lost you on price. He's like, no, you didn't lose me on price. I'm like, yeah, I lost you on price. And you know what, man, I hope you have a great life. I'll see you later. And he walked out the door, and the coaches looked at me like, damn, man. And I was just like, dude, I'm tired. I'm tired of losing deals like that. And I'm tired of people coming all the way, doing this song and dance, and leaving like that. On my way to work out right now. Right before this, I was working on the post-mortem campaign for the 6-week Santa Monica advertising program that we ran. So in the gym and fitness world, like, you see all these 6-week free transformation programs, and it's like, hey, 6-week free transformation. It's basically a bait and switch where you bring them in on a free thing, they put a deposit down of an accountability fee. If they accomplish the challenge, at the end of the challenge, they either hit their goal or they do what they're supposed to do. They have the option of crediting it forward towards like a discounted membership, so it's like a credit that they burn off, or they can take you up on a refund if they feel like they didn't get the value, they hated you, they didn't like the experience, right? And Hermosi is the one that's credited. I'm pretty sure he started it because he started a gym launch, and that's the whole premise of it, running these 6-week challenges. And so anyways, now a bunch of just different gyms and stuff do it. So for 7 years we never ran something like this, but I would see the ads all the time, and you see the numbers that these facilities are pulling in and they're talking about in terms of the new business revenue that they generate from these 6-week ad programs. And it's like, $50, $60, $80,000, $100,000. Sell 100 of these things up front and you collect all the cash up front, that's $60,000 right there. And for 7 years we never ran it, and then eventually, the last 6 months we've been running one through an agency, and we learned a lot of good things about it. I'm glad we did it, but man, the results are just not super compelling from a return on ad spend standpoint and a conversion standpoint. You gotta sit down with the numbers. What did I spend? What did I get? Because it's really like hard and long and emotional when you're the ones running all the sales meetings and you're capturing all the data and you're training other people on how to do this stuff. Like, it's a lot of work that if you don't at some point step back for a bit and just reflect on the whole sales process and things like that and see the numbers, you just get lost in the details. And so punchline, where we ended up now, and I'm probably going to share the Notion document that I made if anybody's super interested in that, just to see, because I would have died to talk to a gym owner like myself in the early days of thinking about running a campaign like this, and if it actually works or not. And by the way, from the agency side, they say about 80% of the gyms hit this membership guarantee, which is about 150 closes in 6 months, 25 members a month, and they say 80% of the gyms hit it. So for whatever reason, be it market dynamics like LA, be it square peg round hole versus being a strength training gym versus an F45. Maybe it's a certain demographic thing, like, you know, gals who want to lose weight really respond to these 6-week transformation challenges, and that's not really the type of the customer avatar that we crush it with. So a lot of those things wrapped up, multifaceted, wrapped up in terms of why I don't think this crushed it for us, but maybe why it crushed it for other gyms on the agency's platform. This is why you got to record yourself. I was just talking about that the other day, of how it's basically like having an executive coach. I recorded myself talking about a sales meeting and how I lost the deal and how I'm just basically swinging from the fences. I wake up this morning and I watch in the commute in, and I watch a Hermosi video about sales. And he's got this AAA framework. You acknowledge, you associate, and then you ask questions or something like that. And basically, you just keep answering their questions with the question. A video that I made when I was talking about my feedback and what I'm going to do going forward, I could tell I was combative. So now when I have my meetings here today, I'm going to be thinking about this framework that I just watched in this video and less about what I said I was going to do when I made my vlog the other day. That's the thing that's tough about having your own business or being your own boss sometimes, is when you're constantly moving on to new platforms and plateaus where you don't have all the answers. And even though I've taken probably got to be 100 of these meetings or whatever, if you get any of the habits in the wrong direction, you're not going to be as sharp as you possibly could be. And you need to get that feedback and continual study and then implement that stuff to make sure that you're the best possible rep that you could be. And then when you teach other people how to do that, that you're teaching them the right things. We've got our OKR meeting with the managers, and we are using the 4 disciplines of execution, where you, 1, focus on the wildly important goal, the WIG. 2, you focus on lead metrics, not lag metrics. 3, you have a compelling scorecard that everybody can see. And 4, you have a system for accountability. So today we have to deliver our lead metrics, which are basically what are the things that go into the output metrics that you want. So for example, sales. If you have a quota number, $1 million, that is your lag metric. There are things, inputs that go into that to spit out $1 million. What are those things? Okay, could be like number of outreaches, number of phone calls connected, number of proposals sent. And what you do is you focus in on how can you elevate a certain amount of those lead metrics to have the highest leverage on the lag metric. So, but that was a simpler example of lead metrics, but figuring out what your lead metrics are is not always easy. And that's what we have to do right now, where we've defined as, okay, we're going to launch our own marketing, social media marketing campaign. That's one thing from a lead generation standpoint. And two, we're going to be 100% compliant on our sales and prospecting process, meaning once we get the lead, can we reach out to them within 30 minutes of generating that lead? And if we go in and we see that we can track that stuff and see 100% compliance across the board, we're betting that those lead metrics are things that are going to have the highest leverage on the output metric that we want. But punchline of this is that figuring out what the lead metrics is really hard work. But once you figure that out, you can really distill it down and be very simplified and like, this is where we're going and this is how we're going to do it. Then I got a couple sales meetings today, which I'm going to crush, and I'm not going to be combative, and I'm not going to be frustrated. I'm not going to let my ego get in the way. And I'm going to be like a jujitsu master, where it's just constantly flipping their question to a question. Oh, hey, that's a really good question. Why are you thinking about it that way? I totally get it. You need to think about it. What other things are you spending your money on that might be more important than your fitness?